My mom is a greatest saint, a real bleeding heart. To feed her own ego, she invited 3 homeless junkies into our house. That night, her charity turned into my nightmare, when all 3 of them gang raped me. But the real kicker happened after I died. My mom actually got down on her knees in front of the judge, sobbing her eyes out. Your Honor, you can't send them to prison. Look at them. They're just poor homeless souls with nowhere to go. It's my daughter's fault. She tempted them. Please don't ruin these good men's lives. Reborn into the past, watching my mom bring those same filthy animals through the front door. Again, I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just smiled. You're so right, Mom. I'll go buy them some top-shelf whiskey and steaks. Treat them right. I walked out the door and never looked back. Next morning, my mom called me screaming in terror. Let's rewind to the lawyer's office. The day after I killed myself in my previous life. The attorney looked at my mother with pity. Ma'am, before your daughter committed suicide, she hired me. She stated that 3 homeless men assaulted her a year ago. She wanted justice. However, the lawyer continued, since time has passed, I need your testimony to put those bastards behind bars. Hearing this, my mom grabbed the lawyer's hand like a possessed nun. Sir, listen to me. Those men are God's children. They have no home. If you lock them up, karma will get you. The lawyer paused, confused. But they raped your daughter. Rape? How can you call it rape? My mom jumped off her chair like she'd been stung. My daughter was 20. She should have found a husband and settled down, instead of wasting time at that fancy college. What's the use of a girl reading so many books? She needed to pop out a few kids while she was young. There were 3 men willing to get her pregnant. What did she have to complain about? The lawyer was speechless. Ma'am, your daughter contracted HIV from them. She developed severe depression and took her own life. Well, that's her fault for being weak. Mom huffed, killing herself over a little thing like that. And now she wants to blame those poor, unfortunate men from the grave? God, how did I raise such a heartless child? Without her testimony, the case fell apart. In court, the 3 drifters flipped the script. She seduced us, one of them yelled, grinning with yellow teeth. Yeah, she drugged our food. She pulled our pants down and begged for it. The judge was skeptical. Sarah was an honor student. Why would she do that? She had AIDS, didn't she? Maybe she wanted revenge on society. Exactly. She looks innocent, Your Honor, but deep down she was a dirty little slut. Just as the judge was hesitating, my mother rushed into the courtroom and slammed her knees on the floor. Your Honor, mercy. These are good men. It is completely my daughter's fault. Don't wrong these innocent souls. With her own mother testifying against her, the judge acquitted them. The media tore me apart. Even in death, I was dragged through the MUD. What a whore. Drugging 3 guys. She must have been desperate. She tried to spread AIDS intentionally. Good thing she killed herself. Even her own mom hates her. Proof that Sarah was trash. Watching from the void as a spirit, seeing the internet celebrate my death while my rapist walked free. Rage consumed me. My soul shattered. And then I woke up. I opened my eyes to see my mother smiling like a saint. He was ushering 3 greasy, foul-smelling men into our living room. Make yourselves at home. I'll boil some water so you can have a nice hot shower. I froze. Then it hit me. I'm back in my last life. When I saw her bring these strays home, I argued about safety. Mom had poked my forehead hard, creating a bruise. Sarah, why are you so selfish? Where is your compassion? Back then I saw the men staring at my chest with hungry, predatory eyes. That night they stuffed my underwear in my mouth to muffle the screams. This time, when Mom saw me, she braced for a fight. Why are you staring? I'm telling you, these are poor souls. If you try to stop me from doing God's work, you'll be cursed. I cut her off. Mom, I was wrong. You're absolutely right. We should help the needy. Mom blinked. Stunned by my sudden change, I turned to the 3 drifters and gave them my sweetest smile. Hey guys, you look hungry. I'm gonna run to the store and get you some liquor and good food. Make yourselves comfortable in the bedrooms.
Mom,
your daughter is an angel. One of the men grunted, eyeing my legs just like her mother. Another leered. Mom beamed, her ego fully stroked. Sarah, hurry back. You got it. I grabbed my phone and walked out. Oh, I'd be quick. But coming back, not a chance in hell. I didn't go far. I crouched behind a brick wall across the street. 30 minutes later, I heard the men shouting, Hey, where's the girl? She's been gone too long.
my phone rang.
It was Mom. I declined the call and turned off my phone. Soon the screaming started. But this time it was my mother. No, please. I'm too old for this. Stop. The men laughed, a low, nasty sound that drifted through the open window. Ideally, we wanted the daughter. But since she ditched us, you'll have to do, lady. Keep us entertained until she gets back. Maybe we won't hurt you too bad. Before, I would have called 911 immediately, knowing they had HIV. My finger hovered over the keypad. Then I heard Mom sobbing. I'll bear it. I'll go find my daughter. I'll give her to you instead. Just let me go. My finger froze. I slid the phone back into my pocket. I walked to the bus stop and caught the last ride into the city. Looking out the window at the pitch-black night, I whispered, if you want to go to hell, Mom, enjoy the trip alone. I stayed at a cheap motel near my university. The next morning, I turned my phone on. Mom called instantly. Sarah, where the hell are you? She was hysterical. Do you know what happened? Those animals, they raped me. You have to call the police for me. I almost laughed. In my past life, when I wanted to call the cops, Mom held a knife to her own throat. These are men, Sarah. Causing trouble will ruin their lives. We have to be understanding of their needs. I channeled her voice perfectly. Mom, calm down. They're men. Men have needs. We have to be understanding. Right? It's charity. Mom choked. What takes you talking about your own mother was violated? And you're defending them? I'm just listening to your teachings, Mom. Selflessness, altruism. She didn't know what to say for. Get that. Come back and take me to the hospital. I'm bleeding and it burns down there. I knew that. Burn the infection. Mom, don't waste public medical resources. I said, reciting her own words from my past life. There are dandelions in the backyard. They're anti-inflammatory. Just boil some weed water and wash yourself off. I hung up. She didn't call back for days. Baffled me. When I was the victim, she preached forgiveness. When she was the victim, suddenly it was a crime. A few days later, my brother Sam called me. He was sobbing, Sarah. Ivana D. Jessica cheated on me. She's pregnant with some other guy's baby, but says it's mine. I rushed to Sam's massive apartment. As soon as I walked in, I heard Jessica screaming. She was my brother's girlfriend. Sam, are you a man or not? You got me knocked up and now you won't take responsibility. Sam was crying in the corner. The dates don't match. I wasn't even in town. Jessica got in his face. What do you know about dates? This is your kid. You just want to dump me? Fine. Give me 50 grand for a breakup fee, and I'll abort it. That was her play. Jessica was trashy and loud. Sam was weak. She reached for Sam's wallet on the table. Before she could touch it, I snatched it away. Get out, I said calmly. In the last life, this woman ruined Sam. The baby belonged to a rich sugar daddy. Sam, I married her anyway because Mom pressured him. A year later, the sugar daddy wanted his son back. So Jessica divorced Sam. When Sam tried to keep the kid he raised, Jessica hired a gang to stab him to death in an alley. I wasn't letting that happen again. I kicked Jessica out. I told Sam everything about my rebirth. Do not let Mom know about this situation. I warned him. Sam wiped his nose. I already called her. Before I could react, the door slammed open. Sammy, Jessica is carrying your seed. How dare you kick her out? God will punish you. My mother stood in the doorway of Sam's penthouse, her clothes disheveled, her eyes wild with that manic light I knew too well. She looked like a martyr who had just climbed off the cross solely to nail someone else to it. God will punish you? I repeated, my voice deadpan. I stepped between her and Sam. Mom, you look terrible. Shouldn't you be at home boiling dandelions? She flinched, her hand going to her stomach. The memory of her recent assault was fresh, yet her delusion was stronger. She pointed a trembling finger at Sam. Your brother has sinned. He has taken this poor woman's virtue, and now he wants to cast her out like Hagar? I will not allow it. Jessica, seeing an ally, immediately squeezed out fresh crocodile tears. He promised to take care of me, ma'am. Now, he says the baby isn't his just to save money. Sam looked at Mom, his eyes pleading. Mom, listen to me. The dates don't work. I was in Tokyo for work when she conceived. It's physically impossible. Mom slapped him. The sound echoed through the luxury apartment like a gunshot. Logic is the tool of the devil, Samuel, she shrieked. Science is cold. Love is warm. Even if the child isn't yours by blood, it is yours by fate. God brought Jessica to you. This baby needs a father. Are you so selfish that you would deny an innocent soul a home just because of a calendar? I watched Sam crumble. This was her superpower. She weaponized empathy until it became a suicide pact. In the last life, this was the moment Sam surrendered. He married Jessica, drained his trust fund for her, and raised a son who wasn't his, only to be butchered in an alleyway when he became inconvenient. Not this time. I laughed. It was a cold, jagged sound that stopped Mom mid-sermon. You're right, Mom, I said, stepping forward. We should absolutely help the needy. Just like we helped those 3 men at the house, right? Mom went pale. That was a test. A tribulation. And you passed. I beamed, clapping my hands. You gave them everything they wanted. So, let's apply that same saintly logic here. Jessica, you want 50 grand, right? Jessica's eyes lit up.
Yes.
For medical expenses and emotional distress. Mom will pay it, I said. The room went silent. Mom's jaw dropped. What? You heard me, I said, turning to her. Mom, you just said money is worldly and selfish. You have your retirement fund. You have the house. If Jessica is God's gift, then you should be the one to sponsor her. Sell the house. Give Jessica the 50 grand. Let her live with you. I can't, Mom stammered. I need my home. I have conditions. Oh, so your charity only applies when it costs us something? I leaned in close, smelling the faint, metallic scent of dried blood and stale sweat on her. She hadn't showered since the assault. She was festering, both inside and out. You want Sam to ruin his life for a stranger, but you won't spend a dime? That's not saintly, Mom. That's just cheap. I grabbed Jessica's arm. She tried to pull away, but I held tight. And you, get out. If you come back without a court-ordered DNA test, I'll have you arrested for extortion. I know about the sugar daddy, Jessica. I know about the condo in the Heights he pays for. Jessica froze. You don't know anything. Try me. I pulled out my phone. Shall we call Mr. Henderson right now? Ask him how he feels about his sugar baby shaking down my brother? It was a bluff. I only remembered the name from the police report in my past life, but it landed. Jessica turned white. She snatched her purse, shot a venomous look at Sam, and stormed out. You monster, Mom whispered, staring at me. You chased her away. I saved Sam, I said coolly. Now, get out, Mom. Go home. Wash yourself with the weed water. You smell like rot. 3 weeks passed. I moved in with Sam to ensure he didn't backslide. We changed the locks. I forced him into therapy. I made him block Mom's number. But you can't block karma. On a Tuesday afternoon, my phone rang. It was the City General Hospital. Ms. Sarah? We have your mother, Linda, in the ER. She collapsed at a grocery store. She's asking for you. I considered hanging up, but curiosity is a powerful drug. I wanted to see the bill come due. I'll be there. I arrived to find Mom in a hallway bed, looking small and gray. The doctor, a tired woman with dark circles under her eyes, pulled me aside. Your mother is in a delicate state, the doctor said. She presented with high fever and sepsis. The infection from her assault injuries went untreated for too long. But that's not the main complication. I raised an eyebrow. What is it? She's pregnant, the doctor said. And she tested positive for HIV. The world seemed to stop spinning for a second. The irony wasn't just rich, it was decadent. In my previous life, she had shamed me for contracting HIV from the rapist she invited in. She had called me dirty. She had told the lawyer I should have just popped out a few kids for them. Now, she was carrying the child of the men who violated her and the virus that had killed me. Does she know? I asked. We just told her. She's in denial. She's refusing retroviral drugs because she believes they will harm the fetus. She claims, the doctor sighed. She claims the baby is a miracle. I walked to her bedside. Mom was staring at the ceiling, clutching a rosary. When she saw me, her eyes didn't hold shame. They held a terrifying, fanatical fire. Sarah, she croaked. Did they tell you? It's a sign. You have AIDS, Mom, I said bluntly. And you're pregnant with a rapist's child. You're 50 years old. This could kill you.
No.
She sat up, wincing. Don't use that word. They were lost souls. And this baby is my redemption. God saw that I was worthy of a burden. He chose me. She grabbed my wrist. Her grip was weak, clammy. I'm going to keep it, Sarah. I'm going to raise this baby. And you and Sam, you will help me. You owe me that. I sacrificed my body to save you that night. My blood turned to ice. Save me? You sold me out. You offered me to them on the phone. The only reason they took you is because I wasn't there. Details, she hissed. I took the pain, and now I bear the fruit. You will pay for my treatments. You will pay for the baby's clothes. It's your fault I'm in this position, so it is your financial responsibility. She was rewriting history in real time. She was already building the narrative. The saintly mother who bore the sins of the world and her ungrateful daughter. I'm not giving you a cent, I said softly. The doctor said you need expensive medication to keep the viral load down so you don't infect the baby. Are you going to take it? Big pharma poison?
She scoffed. No.
I will pray. Prayer purifies the blood. Then you're killing that baby, I said. You're sentencing it to a short, miserable life. Just like you did to me. Get out, she screamed, attracting the attention of nurses. Get out, you demon. You want my baby to die. I walked away. As I left the hospital, I felt a strange lightness. She had chosen her hell. Now she had to live in it. I thought that was the end of it. I should have known better. Narcissists don't die quietly, they perform. 2 months later, Sam called me into the living room. Sarah, look at the TV. It was a local talk show. And there she was. Mom sat on the stage, wearing white, a prominent baby bump showing. She looked frail, tragic, and utterly captivating to the ignorant audience. The caption read, "The Saint of Suburbia, pregnant by assault, fueled by faith." I forgive them, Mom was saying into the camera, wiping a tear. Those 3 men, they were hungry and cold. I invited them in because Jesus would have. And when they lost control, I didn't fight back. I accepted it as my cross to bear. The audience gasped. Some were crying. But the hardest part, Mom continued, her voice breaking, is my children. My daughter, Sarah, and my son, Sam. They abandoned me. They threw me out because I have the virus. They want me to abort this miracle baby. They told me I was dirty. The host looked into the camera, outraged. They kicked their own pregnant, sick mother onto the street? Yes, Mom sobbed. I'm living in a shelter now. I just want my baby to be safe. I stared at the screen. She was lying. She was still in her house. I paid the property tax myself to make sure the city didn't take it, just so she couldn't claim homelessness. She's destroying us, Sam whispered. My boss called this morning. HR wants a meeting. People are blowing up my social media calling me a monster. She wants a war, I said, my eyes fixed on her smiling, tear-streaked face. She wants us to come crawling back and pay for her lifestyle so she can play the martyr in comfort. I stood up. Sam, do you still have the security camera footage from the house? From the night I left?
Yeah.
It uploads to the cloud. Why? And the voicemails? The one where she told you to marry Jessica, or God would punish you. I have them. Good, I said. She went on a local talk show. We're going global. I didn't just leak the footage. I orchestrated a release. I hired a digital forensic firm to compile everything. We had the audio from the night of the assault, the call where she told the men, I'll go find my daughter. I'll give her to you instead. We had the recording of her calling Sam, screaming that he should pay off a cheater. We had the hospital records showing she refused medication for the baby she claimed to love so much. I created a simple website, thesignTOFsuburbia.com. Then I went to the biggest competitor of the talk show that hosted her. The interview was live. I sat across from a journalist known for being a shark. Your mother claims you abandoned her because of her illness, the journalist said. My mother, I said calmly, looking directly into the lens, is a woman who believes suffering is only virtuous if she can monetize it. But don't take my word for it. We played the clip. The audio of her bargaining with the rapists played out to millions. I'll give her to you instead. The studio audience went dead silent. Then we played the video from the hospital, which I had legally obtained through a subpoena regarding Sam's potential financial liability. It showed her screaming at the doctor, calling the HIV medication poison and saying, if the baby dies, it's God's will, as long as I look faithful. She isn't a saint, I told the world. She's a woman who invited danger into our home to feed her ego, and when it bit her, she tried to feed her children to it to save herself. She doesn't need donations. She needs a psychiatric ward. The backlash was instantaneous and violent. The internet, which had been praising her hours ago, turned on her with the ferocity of a starving pack of wolves. #FakeSaint trended worldwide. Donations were refunded. The shelter she was actually staying at for the photo ops kicked her out for endangering other residents by refusing to disclose her untreated medical status properly. Sam and I watched the fallout from his apartment. He looked at me with a mixture of awe and fear. Is it over? He asked. Not yet, I said. Jessica is still out there. And the men who did this are still free. The police had never caught the 3 drifters. Mom had refused to give descriptions, claiming forgiveness. But I remembered them. I remembered their faces from the life before. I remembered their names because I had heard them in court when they testified against me.
Rick.
Silas. Toothless Joe. I hired a private investigator. It didn't take long. Creatures like that don't travel far. They circle the drain. They were squatting in a condemned warehouse in the industrial district about 10 miles from Mom's house. I had a choice. I could call the police. But without Mom's testimony, and with the time passed, it would be hard to stick. Or I could let nature take its course. I found out something interesting from the PI. Rick, the ringleader, was bragging at local bars about bagging a saint. He was also trying to sell a distinctive ring, my father's wedding band, which Mom wore on a chain around her neck. They had stolen it that night. I made a call to an anonymous tip line, but not the police. I called the local chapter of a motorcycle club that my father used to do legal work for. My dad had been a good man, a lawyer, who helped people who couldn't pay. The club remembered him. You say these guys hurt Artie's widow? The voice on the phone grumbled. They did, I said. And they're bragging about it. They're at the old textile mill on 4th. We'll handle it. The next morning, the news reported a gang-related altercation at the warehouse. 3 homeless men were found severely beaten. They were alive, but they wouldn't be walking or raping anyone ever again. When the paramedics arrived, they found the stolen wedding ring and a stash of drugs. Police matched their DNA to the rape kit finally taken from Mom, forced by the hospital. They were under arrest, hospitalized, and facing life sentences. Justice cold and hard. 6 months later, Sam and I were packing. We were moving to Europe. Sam had met a nice girl, a real one, who was studying art history. I was going to law school. We had one last stop. The hospice care facility was quiet. It smelled of lavender and disinfectant. Mom lay in the bed. The baby had been born premature, a boy. He was taken by CPS immediately due to her mental state and refusal of medical care. He was HIV positive, but with modern medicine, he would live a normal life. He was adopted by a family 3 states away. Mom never even asked to see him. Mom was withered. The virus, untreated for so long because of her stubbornness, had ravaged her immune system. Pneumonia had set in. She opened her eyes when I walked in. They were milky, unfocused. Sarah? She whispered. I'm here, Mom. Did you bring the camera crew? She asked, trying to smooth her hair. I want to tell them about my sacrifice. I pulled up a chair. There are no cameras, Mom. No audience. Just me. Her face fell. The mask slipped. She looked like a frightened, dying old woman. Why? She wept. Why did you do this to me? I only wanted to be good. I wanted to be like the saints in the stories. You forgot the most important part of those stories, Mom, I said softly. Saints sacrifice themselves. You sacrificed everyone else to make yourself feel holy. That's not a saint. That's a cannibal. I forgive you, she mumbled, retreating back into her delusion. I forgive you for your cruelty. God knows my heart. He does, I said, standing up. That's why you're here alone. I placed a single dandelion on her bedside table. For the inflammation, I said. I walked out of the room. I walked out of the hospice. I walked into the bright, blinding sunlight of a future that finally belonged to me. Sam was waiting in the car. Ready? Yeah, I smiled, putting on my sunglasses. Drive. We never looked back.